Hi, everybody. Welcome again to another special edition of In the Weeds on location, this time in Connecticut. It's the NECANN, Connecticut, New England Cannabis Convention, stop in Hartford, Connecticut. I am Jimmy Young, the host of In the Weeds, and I ran into a guy here at the show that actually, you actually remembered me from like 5-6 years ago?
It's really not easy, Jimmy. I mean, you don't leave much of an impression. I understand. It's hard to be the shy and always the wallflower. I understand. But yes, I remembered you.
My friends are all laughing right now.
Yes. Well, NECANN has always been a great event to bring out the media, the vendors, the new products, people with production equipment for the flower industry, and then us OG smokers. And that's what we're all about is, get out and enjoy the plants.
Absolutely. But the thing that caught my eye was the concept of the microdose, because I do believe in starting low and going slow.
Yes.
And a microdose fits that for sure. How did you come up with this one-hit wonder? And then we'll talk about why there isn't an H or an R on the end of that, or a Y.
One-hit wonder. One hit is one dose. A da is a dose.
I get that part now.
Okay.
They both begin with D.
There you go. I knew you were quick. The beauty of the product is, for 35 years, I used a dugout and a bat, as a lot of people in this industry do. Matter of fact, an awful lot of entertainers do. And they talk about it on late night television and all, how it's so convenient. And I'd like to reach out and grab them and tell them, hey guys, there's a better way of doing things. I don't have that reach, but
well, I do. And you know what? They know me. You can absolutely, they know me. You can mention Pro Cannabis Media to those guys.
Well, I appreciate it. Nice to see you.
There's a little celebrity too. I love that.
There's people all over.
I didn't introduce, by the way, this guy's Stephen Levine is his name. And he's from Brookline originally. Brookline is next to the city of Newton, where I grew up. And maybe that's why. He may have seen me like panhandling or something in Brookline. It's a great city to panhandle in, as you know. Very high net worth. There's a guy named Kraft who lives there too.
That's the guy. I remember him. It had nothing to do with the paper.
Talk about this invention, because I do love the entrepreneurial spirit and the innovative stuff that people come up with. And this is very innovative.
So a good friend of mine introduced me to the dugout and the bat 35, 40 years ago. And I thought that was the easiest way, the best way to smoke cannabis. I just thought that was the only way. And I suffered through the Scooby snacks, and I suffered through...
Define what a Scooby snack is, because I didn't know that either.
All right. So a one-hitter is nothing more than a metal straw. Let's hold that up. A metal straw. So if I'm drinking water with my metal straw, as I inhale, the water comes through it.
Right.
If I grind up some cannabis and tap, 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 I load it, and I light that up and I inhale, it's no surprise, it comes through like the water. And when that comes through, it's burning, it hurts.
Tastes like crap.
Crunchy, it'll mark up your teeth. And the one hitter is the only pipe that we put close to our mouth where our brain kicks in to stop us. It's like you put your hand on a hot stove once and your brain doesn't let you do it easily a second time. And this is the same thing. So as we bring this close to our face, our brain is going, angle it off to the side so the Scooby snack hits your cheek. Block it with your teeth.
I've never heard of Scooby snack before.
Well, you have now, Jimmy.
Scooby-Doo, I know. Scooby snack, I know.
And there it is. That's where it all started. But the beauty of this is, if you can get past that challenge using a one-hitter, this is a pipe intended to be hit, inhale it like it's your last breath, suck the ash right through, because the more you inhale, the better the combustion. And if there's no combustion, what are you smoking? So
flower.
when you're using a one-hitter and you're puffing on it, because you're afraid that Scooby snack may come through. You're not inhaling with enough authority to maintain strong combustion. You're wasting a lot of what you're smoking. The one-hit wonder allows you to get full combustion of everything that you load. So there are 20 of my doses. Let's start here. There are 20 of my doses in a 1 gram joint, roughly 50 milligrams. Roughly. It's going to vary based on sativa, indica, hemp. It's going to vary based on how you grind it, how much effort you put into loading it. It can all be broken down into numbers if you need to get there. I don't think you need to get there. Let's use 20 doses. If you sit down with a strain that your body has never seen before, so you have no tolerance for that product, you load 150 milligram dose. Inhale like it's your last breath. You may feel it immediately. You'll definitely feel it within minutes. And just ask yourself a very simple question at that point. Do you think you need another 19 of those?
I love one hit, one high.
One hit, one die. One hit, one die.
All right, one hit, one die. That's great. Hey, Stephen, can I ask a really kind of an obvious question? How much does it cost?
The starter kit.
The starter kit.
The starter kit is $27 roughly, $26.99.
And you save that much, obviously, with waste, because when you light a pre-roll, 3/4 of it is out in the air.
Well, that's the problem.
Right.
As soon as you light a joint, you no longer have a joint.
Yep.
If people are buying pre-rolls at $10 a pre-roll, there are 20 of my doses in each pre-roll. So if they're doing 2 a day, that's $20 in a day, 30 days in a month, $600 a month in smoke. I'm not saying don't smoke. I'm saying be mindful about how you smoke.
Be efficient.
With the one-hit wonder, if I can bring you down to a dose or so every hour instead of 2 joints a day, not only do you not have that lag time between 8 in the morning, the first joint, and 8 at night, the second joint, and all you do all day is think about that second joint, we eliminate that whole lag by letting you have a dose. And it doesn't have to be the same strain, because you're dosing and you're only affected by this for anywhere from a half an hour to an hour, as opposed to 2 hours to 3 hours with a joint. You can literally go from smoking a sativa in the morning, and the next thing you smoke could be an indica to let you go back to mindful work, and then go back to something.
Now, Stephen, we try to educate our audience. We think we have a pretty sophisticated audience. My audience understands that sativa and indica,
They're relative terms.
it means absolutely
relative
nothing.
terms.
Right. I lost my train of thought. What a shock, because I have not partaked yet today.
And indicas.
Right, and it's the terpenes that steer the flower. Okay.
But here's the real challenge in the whole industry. We're trying to put standards like dosing.
Right.
We're trying to
Turning a plant into a drug, and I don't like it.
But we're trying to get down to an absolute number, when if you think about the formula that's going to get an equation, an equal sign that's going to say this is your number, everything that goes into that formula is a variable. There's no constants. There's nothing that we can look at and say it's always going to be that way for you and that way for you. The plant itself, 2 different people smoking it will get 2 different effects.
Right.
All
That's
right.
really the challenge.
When we look at Leafly, let's say, and I love the site. When I look at how they're presenting the parameters, the efficacy of the plant, and they tell me if I'm looking for something to make me hungry, this is a good choice. If I'm looking for something to put me to sleep, this is a good choice.
But it's because of the terpenes, not whether the flower and the strain.
What we forget is there are 2 sides of that tick mark. We're looking in our minds to the favorable side. We could have the bad effect as well. If we're just looking at those parameters, we know nothing. Smoke a dose. That will tell you. I call this no math dosing.
No math, microdose.
Math dosing. You're only getting 50 milligrams. Now, some people will say 5 milligrams is a microdose. 1 milligram. I don't care what they say. What I'm after is what the medical programs told us they wanted us to do in the first place.
Control the dose.
Use the smallest possible amount of your medicine until you know how it affects you.
Start low and go slow.
Then they gave us a 1 gram joint. That makes no sense.
I always unrolled my joints, my pre-rolls, and put them in my one hitter. But now that I have a one-hit wonder, I'll probably be trying that out. Now, wait, let's go back to the name for a second, okay?
Sure.
Now, wonder is the word. W-O-N-D-E-R. There's also bread, right? Wonder. It's a wonder of the world, right?
Yes, one hit, wonder.
This is not that word. This is wonder.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that there's a little bit of an embracing here of that famous Boston accent where we lose all those R's.
There is, but quite honestly, I went to one hit wonder because one hit wonder was taken. But not just going beyond that. One hit, it could have said one dose, all right? But Jimmy, I'm into my marketing. I'm not a foolish marketer. Well, I forgot to put my name on my pipe, but I'm not a foolish marketer. If the guy that invented facial tissue had called it Kleenex, he might be happier in life. One hit, one dose just works better for me if I can get the entire industry talking about DAS instead of doses.
DAS instead of doses. That's Stephen Levine's hope for this product here at the New England Cannabis Convention. This has been a special edition of In the Weeds, live, if you will, or look live with Jimmy Young. And this is Stephen Levine. Where do they go to find it, Stephen? And try to make it just the website.
Just the website, www.onehitwonder.com.
I'm amazed that you got that URL. One hit, one da, right? Amazing. That's Stephen Levine. We'll have more from the floor of the New England Cannabis Convention here in Hartford, Connecticut. After this, don't go away.